get one out last week. I made one, but then just didn't release it. So here I am, a couple of weeks off. I hope you're all well. What's this one about? Okay, well, it's about the importance of hitting reset, which I'll get to in a couple of minutes, but I'm just going to give you an update on my couple of weeks. I hadn't actually had any bouts of depression for a while. Like, it had been quite good, and I was feeling anxiety, but wasn't feeling depressed until probably Wednesday of this week, when I've been really down. But today I've just had an appointment with the mental health nurse. So obviously, for those who are just tuning in for the first time, I'm sort of talking about my mental health journey and trying to get myself sorted, trying to get help, and Blooming left all of the paperwork in the car. Brilliant. Yeah, I actually spoke to a mental health nurse for about an hour, and it was really helpful. She gave me some great little tips, which actually I'm going to do a few of them and potentially do a video about one of them next week, which is called an emergency box, which I'll just touch on basically very quickly. That when you feel down, you go to the box and there's things in there for your senses, something that smells nice, something that's nice to touch, something that's nice to listen to. So it could be a digital box maybe as well. So I'm going to have a crack at that. Some breathing techniques, something called 7-11, where you breathe in for 7 and out for 11. So basically you're breathing out more than you're breathing in. So a few little bits and bobs like that I'm going to have a crack at. And also a self-referral thing where I have to refer myself for actual therapy. There's going to be a long waiting list, which basically, guys, if you need help, get it, because it takes a while, and the sooner you start, the sooner you can get help, the sooner you can get out of this. I know it's hard to get out and get help. That's the whole problem, and something I've been having a problem with. But you know, the one thing to remember, and I know I bang on about all videos, if you're angry, if you have any anger problems, or you have any high level emotions, or your emotions are maxed out, then you are suffering from anxiety, because a high level of emotion tends to be because you've got anxiety. Anyway, one of the things that I have got that I've just been playing about with and seems really quite helpful is just giving me a weekly assessment of anxiety and depression and stress. And apparently I'm severely stressed, moderately anxious, and moderately depressed. But I'm severely stressed. That's the thing. It's like, okay, hang on a minute. So I need to look at my stress levels, try and bring those down, and hopefully in turn it will bring the other thing down. So it's that one there. It's called Sanvelo. It was recommended to me by the nurse. And yeah, it seems good. A lot of these things you have to pay for, but obviously with it being free, that's helpful. So yeah, I'd have a look at that if you're just looking for something to do. I may speak about that more in other videos as I've used it more and be able to review it a little bit better. So my week's been a bit shit, really. Not particularly. I had a job in July that was nailed on that's been postponed because it was a boxing match and one of the fighters either unwell or he's been knocked out. I don't know, but he can't fight, so therefore that's been cancelled. So that's a big loss of income, which has a knock-on effect. And then just a few little nibbles like that, where you know, things you think you're just starting to get things going again, and then you just get feet taken from underneath you. So it's about having these techniques, and one of the techniques, I'll just get straight onto it. You're not really that bothered about what I've been up to. The allotment. Even this today, my mind group on a Wednesday. Football, though it's off season at the moment, but pre-season's about to start next week, so I will be getting back into the exercise, that kind of thing. Those things for me are my resets. Yes, loved ones, family, you know, you'd think that's a reset, but it isn't really, because quite often they're the people that you share things with, and quite often you share your troubles with, and so on and so forth. So what's key, what's really important that everybody must have is a reset, because if you never reset, you're gradually getting worse and worse. Now, I saw a video that was posted the other day about, so like, if you hold this glass of water, right, it's not difficult, but what would happen if you held it for an hour? Your arm would start to ache. What about if you held it all day? Then suddenly that becomes really heavy and your arm starts to struggle. So what we do quite often with our loved ones is we pass them the water for them to hold. But they're already holding their own water. So what you're doing there is you're handing all these, you know, and between the two of you, you're handing them back and forth, and you're not necessarily, I'll just have a drink. You're not necessarily helping each other, because you shouldn't be putting your problems onto each other. Yes, you can talk about them, yes, you can share them, but if you're both going through a difficult time, that can be really, really hard. Now, actually, what I find, if I hit reset, I can have that conversation where instead of me, basically, if you hit reset, then it's easier to, that wasn't easy to drink, but that was the point. That was me hitting reset, and I spilled it down myself. What dosser. The point is, when you get to this, when the problems are easier, you can give it to your partner or whatever, and they can go, they've had a little bit, that wasn't too hard, and then you go, oh, okay. I didn't realise I was going to be using a prop in this video. but at least I'm hydrated now. Anyway, the weight of that can cause massive problems to both of you. And when you hit reset, it's almost like your computer. I'm just trying to point at myself, but I'll just do that. So, oh no, does it even look at the... There you go. You can see there's a computer there. The computer in the summer can get really hot and overheated, and you need it to cool down. You switch it off, you let it power down, you turn it back on, and it performs better. And you've got to look after yourself that way. You know, switching yourself off and switching yourself on again. The metaphorical way of... Well, that's a metaphor. But in reality, what that means is taking yourself out of your situation and putting yourself somewhere where you can just stop thinking about everything else. Like for me, football, I can only focus on one thing. Basically, you have to give your right-hand side of the brain something logical to think about so it doesn't think about all the other problems. So like the breathing technique I've been given today, you know, when you're thinking about breathing, you can't be thinking about your problems. You know, a lot of these things, it's about realigning your thoughts. It's not about necessarily going, oh, think this instead. Just realign your thoughts so that when you come back to think about the shit, it's just easier to digest. You know, like one of the things to put in the emergency box is just a little statement to yourself. And you do it when you're calm. What your calm Marcus says to an angry Marcus. You know, so that just to give yourself a little bit of perspective, because actually you have no perspective when you get anxious or depressed or stressed. Those things take over you and they consume your mind, and they don't give you the option of actually being able to process those things logically or methodically. And it all, you know, there's a thing that she told me about the nurse today, the chimp theory or the prime. There's a book basically about how your brain is like a monkey and it's bouncing all over the place. You're buggered, but I'm obviously not really doing that justice or explaining that very well. But as I say, the way I would explain it is, you know, just hit reset. Boop. For me, football, the allotment, anything that's exercise based, anything that just gets you out of the abyss of feeling, you know, helpless, worthless, with an inability to kind of get out of it. You know, you just have to just take a step back, reset, start again. Otherwise, you're just going to get lost in your own cycle. You're going to perpetuate your depression and your anxiety. And, you know, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. But at the end of the day, the only people who can really begin the process of helping ourselves are ourselves. It's wanky. But, you know, just remember the simple things. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to kind of disappear for a couple of days and just fuck everyone off. That's all right. Just don't do it for too long, you know, because if you're on your own with your own thoughts for too long, you've got no one to sound shit off, and your brain's a dickhead. Like, my brain is a dickhead. That's what this thing's called. Your brain will take the piss out of you. It'll mug you off, man. Don't let it. You're the driver, yeah? Get in the driving seat. Don't sit in the passenger seat, because whilst you're a passenger, you could get taken anywhere. Get in the driving seat. Take your foot off the accelerator a little bit. Pull over. In fact, just pull over. Just take a fucking break. Have a bit of a power nap, man. Just relax. Like, people bang on about it. It's not for me because I don't quite have the attention span. But yoga is what most people, well, not most people, but a lot of people buzz off yoga. It's not for me because I just get bored in there. I like competition. There's different ends of the spectrum, but there's all sorts of things you can do to hit reset. Gardening for me, I never thought was going to be one though. Do you know what I mean? I never thought that the allotment would be such a solace for me. But yeah, I'm going to edit this. I'm going to put this out and I'm off to the allotment. I need a break big time. It's been a tough week. And I'm going to be working most of the weekend. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Marcus J. Richardson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I know none of you will, but I don't care. I'm just doing this for the couple of people that actually seem to be getting something from it. Yeah, and of course, don't forget, comment below if you've got anything you want me to discuss, or comment below if there's anything that, you know, any advice you want to give me. I've had that a couple of times. It's really, really helpful. Or even if you're just going through similar things, it's always nice to hear people say, I know how you feel, mate. Shit in it. Because it is. It's fucking shit. So, yeah. Anyway, until next time, I've been Marcus J. Richardson, and my brain's a dickhead, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.